Good afternoon, everyone. I wanted to make a quick video. We have some updates, especially since President Trump have actually issued an executive order to help those that are, in need in their situation, especially with the stimulus package, the second stimulus package that is before the Senate to try to be passed, updated, to give the American people more help. So thank you so much for joining me, everyone that's joining the live. Thank you, Dave. Good evening. If you are new to my channel, feel free to, number one, like the video and subscribe to the channel for the content and the information. And the reason why I wanted to talk about the stimulus update, what you need to know before the next wave is coming. Good evening, Weaver. What people don't understand with this American or even just any system when we are dealing with currency, that it is not real money. So most people do not understand that the central bank is a private owned corporation that is not based in the United States. And so the central bank, or what we know as the Fed, controls the printing of the American dollar. Our currency is not money. There is a big difference between money and currency. Money is a store of your economic power. But what we have now is currency. And you said, what does this have to do with the stimulus? Well, this is what happens. The more money that is printed, the more stimulus money that is created, the more you have less purchasing power with your dollar. So what constantly happens when the Fed instates quantitative easing, you will start to see the prices of goods and items go up. It is not beneficial to you. Even though people think, well, I have more money, I feel wealthier. But you can buy less with the more that you have. So what happens is it starts to cause the just everyday items prices to go up. It calls what we call inflation. So it's just like this bottle of water. If I take this bottle of water and imagine this is vodka, the more water I pour into the vodka or the liquor content, the less potent that the liquor content is. So I would have to, if I'm going to the bar, if I am paying for drinks, and the bartender continue to add more ice with the same amount of vodka or liquor, whatever you choose to drink, the less it is potent to you. So you will have to continue to buy rounds and rounds of drinks to get the same amount of potency before the water was added into the vodka or the liquor. So it's the same way with your money. The more that they add more money to the system, the less potent your dollar is for purchasing price. We're seeing it now more than ever. We're starting to see the price of food going up and wages are going down. So the reason why this video was made and it's attended, before the next wave of stimulus come, you need to position yourself to begin to build your credit. If you already have trouble credit, to build your credit, to build your name, and to maintain your name, and also to invest in what we call precious metals. you really need to take this opportunity to begin to invest in gold and silver. And if you have been watching the news, you see the price of gold is shooting up. And here's the reason. Our American dollar, before the 1970s, we were on a gold standard, a gold-based system. That means you could take $20 and go to your local bank and receive $20 in return worth of gold. Right now, our currency is simply debt. That is it. It's an IOU. It's a promise to pay, and it is a medium of exchange. So what is going on now? The more money that you have stored in the bank, the less you can buy. This is why the banks do not pay you interest. They pay you very little interest now because they don't want your money. The banks are currently printing money and they are purchasing the gold. This is why you're seeing gold maxed up at its highest rates, because this is one of the greatest wealth transfers that's going to take place in our time. Because what the banks are going to do, they're printing more money. There is no way that you can outwork the amount of trillions of dollars that they're printing. And it is not to help the American people. It is to print and prop up the stock market. Why is that important? The reason why it's important, the more money that they print, the higher that a person that has assets, asset price increase. So with those that are interested in buying a home, you need to get your credit up and also start with your income and look to buy a home as soon as possible. Because what we're going to see, as the more money go into the system, you're going to see home prices shoot up. So you have to learn now. There is no way that you can outwork this. You can't get a second job. You can't be able to outpace this inflation. Because remember, they're printing more money, but people are losing jobs. Those that are on jobs, even though they're adding more money to the system, your wages is not going up. So let's say back in December, this smoke control might have been $1. After they started that wave of printing, just adding an additional $1 into the system, now this smoke control is worth $3. You're still going to work, making $20 an hour. Your purchasing power with that $20 an hour have just decreased by $2. So really, if you go and buy this, you went from purchasing this for $1 and you had $19 left over. Now you're buying it for $3 instead. And you have less in your paycheck to buy other items. This is what we're saying with the price of food. The price of food have went up 46% since they began to print more waves of money. So you need to know now. Right now, it's a great opportunity in silver, but the window of opportunity to invest in silver at low prices from the gold to silver ratio, that's been one of the widest gaps in history. The window of time is slowly closing. I'm a person that we call about stacking and start to invest in tangible silver and in gold. So you want to start switching and hedging your money. It's not so much about exclusively making money. It's about retaining the value of your dollar, of your economic input, by taking your dollars, converting them over into precious metals. One of them is silver right now. Silver, back in March, for us, the end of March, the price of silver dropped down to $11. We all rushed to buy silver, and they would not let us purchase silver for $11. And the reason why it's such a great opportunity in silver is because all of your electronics, as we speak, phones, commercial, solar panels, anything that you're seeing in technology, many items now use silver as an industrial metal versus gold. Gold is very rarely used as an industrial metal, but now silver is an industrial metal, and the price of silver is devalued. It's worth less than it actually is to mine it. So the cost was in the negative. We have recently seen something that haven't happened in history, that the American Mint have now made bullion companies forecast at least 90 days of how many orders that they're going to receive from the U.S. Mint of the American Silver Eagles. So what does that mean? They're slowing down the production. You have banks like JP Morgan and Chase that is stacking record number of silver at actually the reserve of 53% of the silver stores that JP Morgan is stacking, because they understand the more dollars that's being printed, automatically your silver value is going up. Because understand, it's not basically the silver and gold that are these homes going up in value. It's the purchasing price of your dollar is going down. So the banks is switching over from just dealing in currency and actually obtaining assets. And what is going to happen? You're going to see pretty soon, as people begin to foreclose, you're going to see the bank come in with their printing press and the home that you worked for years, and trying to feed your family, pay your electric bill. They're going to go to their printing press and at that auction and buy your home, which you couldn't outwork to save. So this is what's going to go on. People don't understand the implications of the constant money printing. They feel more wealthy, but in essence, you are losing value because they're not increasing your wage to keep set with the price of inflation. Automatically, like I said, the more water you put in the system, the more, if you have a concentrated container of orange juice that's frozen, that's concentrated, the more water that you pour into it, the more diluted it is. So this is what they're doing. You're seeing big companies like Walmart is starting not to accept cash anymore. I went to McDonald's in a certain area. They are no longer accepting cash at that McDonald's. And you're starting to see this more and more. They're putting it on the pandemic, but what they are going to do is crash the dollar. They're making preparations. This is not the first time that our fiat money system have failed. And what you need to pay attention, the world currency, all those that are so-called, in Forex training, you got to remember, all of this is based off the US dollar of the world currencies. So when you are looking at the US dollar, they in America here get to export their inflation. So America will print their dollars, go to Africa and trade it to get their real gold, go to Mexico and get their silver. But pretty soon, this is going to be a breaking point, because just like we're suffering this, other countries' currencies are starting to crash. You already see this in Beirut. Lebanon had already had currency issues where they're going into the store and the price of food is fluctuating. That right about now, 60% of the people before the devastation of the explosion could not purchase food because they were below the poverty line, because the currency is starting to crash. They already will go to their banks and would not be able to make withdrawals. This is not the first time this happened in this country. We had what we call the continental currency. That currency crashed. There has never been a fiat currency. And fiat means that the dollar or the currency, we use the dollar, but it haven't been any currency that has been backed by a good faith or an IOU of a government that ever survived. And what it is, the smoke and mirrors is the great part about silver and gold being a store of purchasing power. There's a limited supply in the earth. It was put here by a supernova, a star going off, so you cannot constantly reduplicate it. It's a limited supply. It's based on supply and demand. And people that are investing in the stock market, they are propping up the stock market by printing trillions of dollars, the Fed, and they had Congress ask them why are they continue to print this money, and they are buying junk bonds. Our banks are buying junk bonds, garbage, bad investments to keep the stock market going, to really pull the smoke and mirrors that the stock market is about to go down. The bubble is about to burst. So you want to keep in mind, if you're a person that has retirement there, you may better look at converting just to hedge your assets over into silver. So if you are interested in building wealth right now, reasonably, we just seen the price of silver skyrocket. When I've been investing in silver, we were purchasing it from $16 to $17, and now we're seeing silver up at $26. And the more that they print this currency, we're talking about for a one-time purchase, you buying the silver, as they print, the value go up. So when it comes down to investing in silver, we invest in currencies, not just silver rounds. I don't, some people do get generic silver, but I invest in governmental type of silver, certain like the Canadian maple leaf, Perth mint, also the American silver eagle. So when someone is telling you about silver, don't think it's just generic silver. What I am speaking of is the American silver eagle, which is actual currency. It is valued at $1, but it takes $26 to pay for $1 worth of currency. The key is the reason why it's worth more than the printed dollar. The printed dollar or $20 bill or $100 bill only costs 12 cents to print. That actual coin, the American silver eagle, is actual silver. It is actually a precious metal and actual value attached to it. It is not this monopoly money that they're dealing. So what a fiat money system is backed by the good faith of those that will receive it for that government. When we begin to move where these countries, other places will not receive the American dollar as currency, as a medium of exchange, you're going to start to see supply chains begin to break down. So you want to keep the mindset of having something that you can liquidate very easily. And when I'm talking about silver and gold investment, I'm not talking about ETFs, not where you have a banker to hold it. That is absolutely foolish, because if you do your history, you will know that it was a great, back in the 1930s, it was illegal for you to have gold in your home. They confiscated it. But what it was, they confiscated if you had the American currency. So a lot of us invest in different types of currencies. I stay away from anything from Japan and China, because you do have a lot of certain governments that will mix the silver, because they're not letting these precious metals go. And a lot that they won't tell you with America, Russia and China been stacking up on gold. They've been stacking up on gold because they're trying to make a push of being one of the greatest world powers. And so as our money has been, or our currency's been crashing, this is some of the power moves that they're making. And so a lot of this tension between China and the US is part of this. So China have just been busted for one of their companies, a Chinese company that claimed that they had gold. Come to find out it was fake gold. So a lot of those that invested in that, and it was them holding the gold like an ETF, lost their investment. So I'm one. You control your own silver, you control your own gold, and you want to make sure you start stacking this on a consistent basis. I work with a program called Quicksilver, and every month they automatically take a set amount out of my bank account and sends right to me via postal mail my stack of silver. So I begin to save in silver. So you want to convert out of this currency. If you have a large amount of savings, you want to consider converting it over to silver or to gold if you can afford it. But there is a great opportunity in silver. It is extremely affordable. So for me, myself, silver just took off. It was going about $17, $16. So for every $100 I made, I would at least stack $20 in silver for every $100 that I made. That was my discipline. But now I increase my purchasing power of silver. So you want to make sure you're aware of this, you guys. Start to work on your credit, because moving forward, where they say cash is king, not when they're printing it. Cash is not king. You want to get your name together. If you are stacking, you want to make sure you start to invest in steady currencies. So if you want to check out the link, I will leave the link for the Quicksilver. If you're interested in their wealth building program, feel free to check it out. Start to save or even make a purchase in silver. Do it while you can. With your stimulus when it comes in, put some aside to purchase silver. Make sure you begin to get your name straightened out. If you want more information on how to get your credit, feel free to join my channel. I have a lot of information on how to get your credit together. We're also doing in August 1st, I started a credit kickoff. You are more than welcome to join. I got a Facebook group. People that started it back in January, by April, we had people go from a 650 credit score to an 800 credit score. One gentleman, and also him and his wife. So we also had a lady who started about 640 and now she's about a 730, but she was there in 4 months. The gentleman that went to the 800, he did get some of my personal services, and from there he just took off with us dealing with some of his collections. So keep in mind, you guys, now is the age and time. You want to make sure you're wise about your information. I am going to jump on with one of my clients that I have an appointment. If you're leaving questions, I will surely get back to you guys. So I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day.